Hey, you know what time it is? It's Wednesday, and that means No, that's on cooldown. It's almost on cooldown, baby. And we were expecting the 9.1 PTR to get our hands on it, but they haven't posted it, so what's up?
Yeah, that was weird because, if you've been living under a rock, there's been a lot of stuff being posted about 9.1.5, and pretty much everybody except us covered it already.
we posted the TLF on Friday.
But that's fine, because we're putting our heart into it right now. Okay. The thing is, it's not really out yet, so, but actually we have a couple of things happening right now in 9.1.
Yeah, definitely. And you might be wondering what's up with the spacing and the stuff. So we're in the middle of changing some things around, so don't mind this. This is just temporary. You know, you'll find out about that later, okay? But let's just talk about 9.1.5, the latest shit. So, Domination gear improvements, right? Easier sets, more gear. What's that about, Flame?
Okay. So, the first things first, with the Domination sets, you know that only your head, shoulder, or chest piece can give you the set bonus if you have all of the 3 respective colors enabled. Then each gives you a specific bonus. So, if you want the unholy one, but you haven't looted the shoulder, if that's the one that gives it to you, then tough luck. Now, all of the 5 pieces of gear will give you the said set bonus, so you don't feel restricted to really need that head, shoulder, or chest piece. Which
head, shoulder, that's a popular shampoo thing. All right.
Because for instance, I don't have my shoulders, and I've been waiting for like 2 months now, 3 months. 2 months.
I mean,
so it was a little bit weird.
But I think this is part of the many things that they haven't out since the last Friday, in terms of like beneficial stuff. And goes to show, man. It's a long debate. A lot of people asked us to make a video on this and talk about what's our opinion on all these good changes. And here it is. For me, it's a bit, I would say, late, but not that late. And I'm not gonna bash on good things. This is a good thing that's happening. All these updates, because listen, okay, let's go to the other one, the Renown quest, the 20 souls quest as well.
Yes. So I mean, it's mostly to do with the anima cap and the fact that you want to upgrade your covenant, especially since with the 9.1.5 stuff coming out, you'll probably swap to a lot more covenants every now and again, and maybe you want to upgrade it faster. But the problem was that you were always capped on anima, and you were always capped on the souls quest, because you could only do it like the 10 souls quest initially when your renown was low, and then you unlock the 20 souls quest per week. Now it's going to be replayable, so you can keep replaying it kind of like a possibly daily. We don't know exactly how much yet, but you can keep on playing it. And I mean, it's still the boring go into the maw and free 20 souls all the time. But
I hate that I don't have any gaining of renown on my rogue. Like, I have that quest there, it's just for a couple of gold and that's it.
Yeah,
this is enabling renown like for everyone on that quest, and the repeatable.
It's with the souls thing when you upgrade the covenant. And the other thing also tied to renown right now is that at I think 65 and 66 you will unlock your empowered conduits.
62 and 66.
66, yeah. Well, you'll see if you're logged in and you have the necessary renown, and now you have the conduits that you slot into those will be empowered, which I mean that's kind of great. That adds a little bit of flavor to it, which I mean, if you have like that one conduit that's really good and you just want to double dip into it, because certain conduits for certain specs kind of influence the playstyle, then that's actually kind of great. I would probably want to see more of this. I don't know what you think about it.
I mean, it's nice to see bigger numbers, because that's what they essentially do. I mean, they don't change anything to the conduits. They just go, they're empowered. They have bigger numbers. I mean, it's fine. I hate the fact that they're still tied to renown, although there are a lot of things coming up in 9.1.5 that will make life easier for us. And we've covered like the latest ones, but now it's time to like just go to the first announcement, which happened last Friday. And shamefully enough, we weren't on the topic because we were working on the TLF all day. And once we finished that, you know how it is.
Yeah, this is kind of like what this whole setup is supposed to do, is like help us get into the
this is it's in the process of, right? We're just this is very temporary right here. So let's see what Kaivax posted on Friday. In the next few days, we will be updating our public test realm with a first look at patch 9.1.5 alongside feature updates like new time walking experiences, patches. This time we're revisiting Legion. We know a couple of details about that, with a couple of twists. The twist is Mythic Plus. These 45 patches falling in between full content tiers present an opportunity to focus on balance and revision of core systems based on feedback and data from the season so far. Alright, patch 9.1.5 will include several significant changes to the Shadowland Covenant systems in particular. Once you've reached a high Renown threshold, we do not know what that threshold is. I'm not sure if it's max Renown or
I think they're
60
probably still playing it to see exactly when it would feel okay progress-wise.
Yeah, if we would have had the PTR today, we would have known, but nevertheless. So threshold, you will thereafter be able to freely switch among any of the 4 covenants without cooldown or restriction.
The ripcord has been pulled.
Yes, like as well as use cosmetic rewards that you have earned from one covenant, even if you are currently a member of a different one, which is great. Both the covenant switching and the use of cosmetic rewards will also apply to alts once the Renown threshold is reached on one character. Now, we've been talking about this shit for
man,
we're not taking credit for anything, okay? We and dozens other creators and players and people who are on the betas and alphas talked about this to happen. And I don't know if it's because of the recent happenings. I don't know if it's just because of the player drop or whatever. Whatever the reason may be, it's good that it's happening, okay? And listen, I did say, it's a bit late, but as opposed to BFA and Legion, this is happening in the first, I would say, not first, the second 0.5 patch. This should usually happen in a 0.3 or 0.3.5 patch.
See, this is my problem with this is that this shit is a shit. It's a thing. It shouldn't be a thing.
I know.
Because this is supposed to be, the systems are not ideal and they will just make people very uncomfortable, especially with the conduit energy and stuff. It will just make people very uncomfortable when playing the game, and it's weird. It doesn't make anybody happy. Take it out. Oh no, we cannot take it out. It's not in terms of with our core design philosophy and stuff like that. That happened in Legion, that happened in BFA, and they eventually gave up, caved in. Now, they were either planning to cave in eventually at this time as well, or they said, you know what, let's just do it, right? And as much to my dismay, I kind of feel like they knew that they were gonna do this eventually, which is kind of shitty, knowing that they had the ripcord in their hand the whole time, but no, they cannot do it. They cannot do it. And that's the thing, man. It shouldn't have to be the past mid-expansion things like, you can play this new World of Warcraft expansion. Yeah, I know you don't like those things, but if you wait 2 patches, they're just gonna become good. No, this shouldn't be a thing. Just listen to the player feedback, man.
Yeah, it's that easy. I know some people made the argument that, this is what they do knowingly. They put on systems that can be, easily fixed just to have players on the hamster wheel and whatever. I'm not disagreeing on that. I will retain the fact that this is good shit, and I remember Flame's reaction and our Patreon's reaction. Everybody got hyped, man.
I was more excited for this than the actual 9.1 patch.
I know, and it's normal like that because this is tied directly into gameplay. Now, all of what you said is valid. Once again, but I cannot. My body does not let me like shit on this because this is a good thing.
No, it's definitely.
And if they. So the real test is moving forward. Okay, this is a step. This does not win anything for them. Okay,
just keep them afloat at the very least, because like you said, due to the recent events, it's kind of very unproductive if you honestly want the game to be good and to shit on the good steps that Blizzard is taking to fix the game. That's just not productive. It doesn't help anybody. Clearly, this is a good thing. Clearly, this happened, and based on everybody's reaction, at least that we've seen, this is a good thing. A lot of people want this. This is definitely not enough because, like you just said, this was bound to happen eventually, and it's just weird. It's glad that it's good that we have it earlier. We should have it earlier because we've been through this 2 expansions already. It's not normal to let's just wait in one more patch. Is it gonna be now? No, it's in one patch. Just wait because it happened before. No, do it now. Fix it now.
The second line over there was Conduit energy is being removed. Now we know that not a lot of people were affected by this. I mean, I cannot say we were that much affected, but what I can tell you is last patch when I was playing my Feral Druid, that's 4 specs. You remember where I had to constantly change between Guardian and Feral and Book and Aristo, and I had no more energy. And it was like so frustrating. And I can see like the small amount of people who actually, get affected by the conduit energy, how shitty that feels.
That's the thing. This is exactly Preach's argument when he had that interview with Ian. Is like, there's two kinds of players in majority. The people who just play the one spec and the one build, the conduit energy is not even a thing for them. It doesn't affect them whatsoever because they don't ever consume it. And people who actually min-max, who try to play other specs, who multi-class, multi-role, multi-spec, whatever you want, and they just consume it, and it's just annoying for them because they cannot really play the game. So the conduit energy system is just not doing what they want it for it to do. To kind of restrict. It's not the same. It's not the same because it's supposed to be talent system. It's supposed to be the talents like, oh, I want to switch that for this dungeon. No, you have to wait a day now.
Yeah, and it's also really reassuring that some of the devs actually went out on Twitter and kind of admitted they made a mistake, which is huge. I know a couple of tweets.
I mean, it makes sense for this to happen, but the fact that it's actually happened for Blizzard is like, okay, now they're you know.
Yeah, it's definitely a good sign. Now, obviously, they went into the explanation over here in the post, which I'm not going to go through it, but what I want to go through is actually the biggest things that are coming in patch 9.1.5, and I'm just gonna zoom this a little bit so we have it better here. We already talked about, new characters, customization for Lightforged Renown and Nightborn Elves. We have some updates over there, a couple of new picks. We wanted to test that on the PTR, but that is not up yet, so probably this week. But it's looking very cool and promising, especially for me, because I have a Nightborn Rogue now.
Gone are the old days.
Yeah. But also, Legion Timewalking, including Mythic Plus dungeons. This is a fucking great idea. I know not everybody loved the Legion Mythic Plus dungeons, not all of them, but I think like the biggest opportunity here is for them to just keep this going. If this is just a one-time thing because it's Legion Timewalking and you have Mythic Plus there, it's sad. Can you do Mythic Plus Timewalking for MOP?
I don't think they've elaborated a lot about how they're going to be implementing Mythic Plus. Is it going to be scaled to level 60? Are we downscaled to level 50? Are we going to have the Legion affixes? Are we going to have the current affixes? I don't think it really matters as long as this is a thing. And a lot of people pointed this out that this is kind of like them learning for Final Fantasy 14, but it's not really, where you keep old content relevant. It doesn't necessarily have to do anything with Final Fantasy 14. WoW, Warcraft is a big universe. They have we've been through this. I think was it in BFA when we said, man, there's so many zones that you're not reusing. I think they did it in Legion.
They tried to use it a bit in BFA and in Legion, but
Legion kind of worked a little bit, but they could just go.
It was short-lived. They didn't really capitalize on it.
So I see this as them trying to keep all content relevant. It doesn't have to be competitive with the current content, and I think that would be a mistake. So let's say make Legion Mythic Plus have about 10, 20, 30 eye levels lower than what you have in current dungeons, or maybe make it as some form of catch up, or maybe make it pure cosmetics.
Cosmetics would be nice, but I don't know how it shouldn't.
How would be. It should be nice for people who still like old content and might want to feel like they're not just wasting their time and just doing it for the fun. So have some form of rewards for it. Maybe it can be all the achievements that can be back. Maybe they can unlock. Maybe they can give you some mythic score or whatever. I don't really see that, but I'm happy that we just have more. Obviously, it's not new content because people always like, this is not new content, but it's a 0.5 patch. Yeah. So I think it's fine if they take this forward, especially with the ally race customization. Obviously, Lightforged and Nightborn are the first ones. They're probably gonna have Mega Orcs and Kultirans and stuff like that. Dark Iron Dwarfs.
I cannot wait for that.
Mechanomes and all of that, Vulpiras and all of that stuff. Yeah. Eventually have on par with the main races. Yeah. Well, the first thing on those ally races is that it's gonna be easier to unlock. The Kultirans, Mechanomes, and Dark Iron Dwarfs after it was so hard for me to get my dwarves, man, because I'm not playing Alliance anymore, but I guess it's fine. It's better late than ever.
Also, more intro skippable. Oh my god, did I want this? Oh my god, man, the amount of times we went through that.
That's not all. That's also the Covenant campaign.
Also with the Covenant campaign, yes.
Jesus, obviously we do content. Among the content we do is guides for all the classes, so we kind of have to go through all of them. Go through all of them, having all of them kind of up to date. We cannot really keep them up to date as a main would, but alts has been a staple of WoW for a while. And although some things are better for alts in Shadowlands than it is for BFA, others are not. The fact that pretty much your character's progression is gated behind the campaign is a little bit weird. It definitely wasn't this way. Azurite armor wasn't gated behind the war campaign in BFA, so that was a little bit weird. In BFA, you had to farm so many essences. Now you just have to really go through the 4 to 6 hours of story or however long it is for your campaign to be able to unlock whatever it is that you need to use to unlock further character progression. So it's a little bit weird.
Yeah, and also like lots of more quality of life changes. Like the first thing that caught my eye was like more travel points in the mall, which, you know, it's really good because it is a big place and usually it's annoying rather than, I don't know, scary or what they wanted to make it like really threatening. No, it's just annoying because if you had like stuff to do over there, like that's really important apart from like, you know, the assaults or whatever, you know, just make it interesting like the Timeless Isle was. Yeah, that was threatening and scary, but this is just annoying. I just want to get to point A to point B because nothing's interesting over there and you just put me walk all over the place.
I think that's probably because Timeless Isles had some proper rewards for you to want to get into it, because Maw is difficult. I mean, it's not an easy zone, but the problem is that it's annoying because the only thing you'll ever get there is Stygia.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's fine. It's fine. And also, remote anima turn-ins. This is really cool as well. It's like you don't have to like always go to. So you know, like when you do your quests and whatever, and you get like a full bag of animas and shit, and you have to fly all the way back to your covenant and, you know, click on deposit anima.
That's quality of life.
It's really good that it's happening. I mean, we never feedback this, but it's good that they thought about it. So that's pretty cool. Now, they did mention that there's going to be a lot of tuning to talents, conduits, legendaries, and covenant abilities. Which we don't know yet. We have no information.
No numbers.
Nothing.
I guess that was just balance tuning, and I can always be excited for balance tuning because that's actually really good.
Change the meta. Fuck the meta.
That's the thing, because even with the PvP power gear adjustments and 100% drop rate on legendary recipes, I mean, come on, seriously. Yeah. After like almost not a year, but like 10 months. I kind of, you know, if I'm playing my 7th alt and I do that Spires of Ascension, just give me the legendary, man. I mean, I've been through this farmed dungeons like dozens of times. Just give me it.
Give me that legendary. Yeah, 100% drop rates for legendary recipes, you know, on you know, Mythic Zeros and, you know, LFR and all of that. So that's pretty good. Definitely PvP gear adjustments, PvP power, I would say. So what they mentioned is that the lower item level geared players will get a bigger up when they go into an arena or BG, which kind of almost goes into that area of Legion where we kind of had standardized templates, which was good on one part because everybody was kind of on equal footing, but on the other part you didn't have that sense of RPG-ish progression where you wouldn't get any better gear to just stop people. So that's a really tricky line. I cannot blame them for, you know, trying this. It's good, but, you know, at this point that's not the problem for PvP. PvP's problem right now is boosting. Everybody's over there is just either getting boosted or boosting, and once you get to above 1700, everybody knows this is what's up. This is the biggest problem.
That's the thing, because I actually think what the PvP power gear adjustments are actually signifying to is the much bigger problem that will probably unfortunately be prevalent in PvE eventually, is that from tier to tier the power scaling is crazy because they have to make us feel like, oh my god, in this year I'm so much more powerful than last year, right? So this invalidates past progression where right now by doing like, you know, the normal raid you kind of get the same level as heroic last year, and heroic is considerably more difficult than normal. So these power spikes from patch to patch, from season to season, are too big, and obviously you see them in PvP where, you know, I mean, damage and health don't scale proportionally, so your damage probably raises a lot higher than your health does, where now we do almost 3 times as much damage as last patch but only have like 70% more HP or something like that. So it's just, then obviously you can see that more in PvP where, you know, it just gets crazy.
Yeah, it gets really nasty really quick. I mean, I'm all for the, you know, bursty burst moments, but dying in 2 seconds is just not fun. I'm sorry. You know, you can have a burst window for like 6 seconds. I'll give you that. But dying in 2 seconds, it's ridiculous.
Yes, burst nurse I don't think that's the problem.
GCD is 1.25 seconds. 1.2. Yeah, that's
the
GCD.
problem. I think it's when you have somebody that's about 10 to 20 eye levels lower than somebody that's fighting, because for the same eye level, likely
the one that died in 2 seconds. By the way,
that's what I'm saying. Because if we're like kind of the same eye level, we might not die unless it's like a Windwalker bug or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's when it's not even.
No. But that's what I mean, right? The power spikes are so big that if you miss a couple of eye levels, you'll really feel it, and it just feels a little bit weird because everything is kind of invalidated, and then it creates these problems. So not only does it invalidate past content and past tiers where it's like you might as well be wearing greens, but it just creates these power spikes that are a little bit unnatural, and it gets to the point at the end of the expansion where it's just like a crazy demigod. And so,
But listen, there's obviously been a lot that has been happening and announced this week. We got to it. We're happy with the changes. We don't trust them still. They haven't earned our trust.
It's not enough, but it's
a good thing.
If you want some positivity, you have to at least aim for the good thing.
And I would add this: the real test will be 9.2. And I don't think 9.3 will be a thing, and the next expansion. If this attitude, because you have to remember, this is not only things that we've talked about in feedback, and not all of the community talked about in feedback for a year now. This is not only this. You guys have to realize the communication they started everywhere. I've seen Ian reply to tweets and shit.
Again, I haven't seen him reply in like months.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. You know, the WoW team is communicating. The CMs, you know, Kaivax and Lynx are posting constantly and replying to threads. So either I hope this is not just a reaction storm for whatever happened within WoW. And again, nobody's trusting anything. We're happy and we praise the good changes for this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the developers put their hearts into this, because I'm sure a lot of devs would agree with this even a year ago when we feedback this.
But this was supposed to be, in an ideal world, this kind of stuff should happen in the 9.0.5 patch, because sure, I can give them, okay, we didn't have time to put everything in the beta, but the first chance you get, please implement these things, not a patch or two later, or maybe they've planned this to be like a 9.3 thing, right? But
yeah, I'll fuck them up if that would happen. Shit. But again, good things. We'll definitely wait to see. I would say cautiously optimistic if you want, but we're really curious on what you guys think, because we know you always let us know in the most unique ways what your feelings are on all of this. So please do so in the comments. It's promising. It's promising, especially for you players out there who quit and had a lot of alts to play and stuff. There's easier catch-ups to it. We don't know when the release date is yet, but I'm
probably going to be somewhere tomorrow. If you're seeing this as it's published, it's probably going to be a day after
1.5. I don't think so.
The PTR, I mean. So we can actually test things and see exactly how there is.
Friday.
The release, I would imagine, I don't know, October at the very latest, maybe.
Maybe earlier. We need this shit earlier, man. That's the truth. You know, you cannot like push the good grace of players too much now. But you know, we have other good grace people in this community, and that is our Patreon. Our Patreon. That is our Patreon.
There's multiple ones, and thank you everybody for supporting our channel and all of these new changes that we're going through. This is actually pretty exciting. I have a lot of lights in my face that are really colorful, and you guys made it happen. And we're gonna have a lot more cool stuff coming once everything is set up, because we do want to make these kinds of videos on the spot whenever they happen. Want to get you, like, you know, newsworthy type quality stuff. So that's actually pretty good. So thank you for supporting everything that we do. And if you, dear viewer, also find this a little bit interesting and you kind of like what we do, check the link down below. There's our Patreon page. You might find something that you like. Maybe something's for you, maybe not, but you know,
just click on it and see for yourself. Okay. And that being said, we want to thank you for watching the video and sticking to us, and catch you on Friday with a brand new TLF. Surprise. Bye.
I've been loving it then, I still love it now. Still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. Getting better every day, let me show you how. Cause still, I play WoW. Still, I play WoW. It's getting harder to stay, but at the end of the day, it's a guilty pleasure, so just log in and play. Whether it's classical retail, I'ma do a /bow. Still, I play WoW.